If you're just starting out on a fish keeper hobby, stay tuned. There's a couple of apps to go through that might help you along your journey. There's an app that I know that's available on the Apple Store. It may be available on others, but it's called My Aquarium Guide, and it's by, I'm probably going to get stung for pronunciation, but it's by a guy called Tayson Nguyen, and I'll pop that up on screen now. I first downloaded this app myself when I was getting back into the hobby about 7 or 8 years ago, just to have a look and play around. Basically, I'd ordered a tank, brand new, and I was looking at what I could stock in it, what I wanted to stock, window shopping essentially.
Subscribe to my channel.
And this app was absolutely perfect for that. There is an add-on within the app, an app purchase, just to unlock some of the packs in there. But essentially what that means is that you can open up some of the, unlock like the plants, I think it is, open up some of the more of the species and more of the profiles that are on those species. There's more than one way to achieve things in the hobby, and that's definitely evident when you've got the different principles from some of the great characters that we've got in the hobby at the moment, specifically in the UK, MD Fish Tanks. He's almost an adaptation of Diana Wallstead's tanks, where it starts with a very heavy nutrient base sublayer, and there's more of a natural take on keeping an aquarium. And but on top of that, also uses technology to great use of lights, budget lights as well. I might add some of them, not all of them, not this, but just wants to go show that for an average fish keeper that things can be done and achieved for not that much effort, I suppose is the word. Glass bottom fish tanks like Nick from Keeping Fish Simple. And you've got your high-end end of the market again, UK. I'll refer to George Farmer, who's a great guy and keeps tanks very high-end. With your high-end lights, your fertilizers, and a heavily planted tank, using the CO2 and the plants to help filter the rest of the tank as much as possible, along with the high-end, high-flow canisters and weekly maintenance and water changes to make sure you're keeping those nitrates quite low. Nitrates obviously good for the plants. You're adding more nitrates in the plants with the fertilizers, over fertilize, but to achieve that, you definitely need to not skip maintenance ever. You need to keep on top of algae, and the more plants you've got, the more growth you've got, and the more it beats algae. Basically, it's a race. And with keeping on that weekly maintenance, making sure the algae that can't, especially diatom algae, some of the hair algae is different. Maybe I do a bit of a general knowledge on algae or algae in a future video. Diatom algae though, they're definitely something that you can keep on top of, which mentions quite a lot. Being preventative to an issue, like scrubbing diatoms off before you see them really thick before the problem, is better than being corrective, which I think is a very good stance on keeping definitely that type of aquarium, or keeping any aquarium in general, to be honest. But there definitely is a fine balance to be found by keeping fish, and there's, like I mentioned, there's not one single way that's the only way, the best way. There are pros and cons behind fish keeping in every single format, from keeping a bare bottom tank and just keeping fish in, from keeping filterless tanks with lots of plants, from keeping dirty tanks, which is basically just keeping soil in the bottom, ground soil, normal soil, not specific aquarium soil, for example. Keeping plastic plants, keeping no plastic plants. Then of course there's this stocking issue. How much do you stock? What goes with what? And that's where the app, My Aquarium Guide, is actually very good for beginners. My interpretation and my take on this is that you can overstock a fish tank. However, there are lots of guides out there. Let me just research it. There are lots of rules of thumb about how much you can keep in a tank to not become overstocked. And there is a rule going around. There's 1 inch of fish for every 1 US gallon that you have. And for us in the UK, that's about 3.79, but it's round it up to 4 litres of water. Obviously, when doing this 1 inch at a time, when you can go and get a clown loach that's about this big, but those clown loaches can grow to the size of your hand. Not in all cases, most cases it probably won't. However, they'll grow somewhere in between and be like 2 inches. Yeah, you get what I mean. The moral of that is, don't just go by the size of the fish that you buy when you buy it. Same with a bristlenose pleco, you can buy it at like a 1 inch. When you take it home, after about a year or so, that fish is going to be 5 inches. There are lots of guides out there, lots of do's and don'ts, and at the end of the day, as long as you follow a general guideline closely, then you'll be okay. There are lots of conflicting information out there on the internet, and people may not agree with what I'm discussing now. However, this is just my opinion and my experience, and that's all I can talk about, and say that what works for me, and hope that that guidance works for you. So anyway, a little bit more about the app. It takes a lot of general care for certain animals, for certain fish even, tank mates. What's not compatible, it rule out when you're building a tank, and what is compatible is okay. So there you have it. I actually think that it's quite cool that GLPaquatics is giving the app a go, and building the Aquabuildr app. I think it's quite good. You got obviously water changes on there, can send you notifications. So if you're like me, quite forgetful, unless I'm in the fish room actually doing stuff, then I might forget to do something, and then it's a bit of a rush and a panic. I think it's very useful for certainly a new beginner into the hobby. You can have a look on their window shop, have a look at what fish there are on there, quite good details on the fact files. However, I personally, whether you're into your cichlids, your community fish, nano fish, depends what you want from your fish tank. You may like to keep only a single species, angelfish with the big long fins, how they just swim really fast and elegantly come around, and how they move across the bottom of the tank and they hide their fins. I think it's quite cool. Or whether you just want to see a group with a shoal of fish, very tiny, and stick together and swim around the tank. Thing is about shoaling fish, they may not shoal if there's not a bigger fish in the tank, if they don't feel threatened, because that's actually a defense mechanism where they make themselves look bigger by sticking in a shoal, safety in numbers, and from above or from anywhere else in the tank where there's a bigger fish, they then look like the bigger fish, even though there's 20 of them on a closer inspection, but from a bit further away, it looks like there's just one big fish moving around together. That's everything from me today. We've got the 2 apps. We've got my aquarium guide, and we've got the Aquabuildr app. I think the Aquabuildr app has got a lot of potential, mainly because it includes the notifications, but there are 2 apps for you to go and try out. Aquabuildr is totally free, and my aquarium guide's not a lot of money, so definitely worth a go in my opinion. Until next time, see you around. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other future content. Thank you for watching. Bye. By high end, I mean, until next time, peace. Let's not forget that in this hobby, there is definitely more than one way to the job done. Until next time, bye. Until next time, see you around. However, personally, I suppose this is probably because I know quite a few of the species that are around there at the moment. you just know what meets your interests. So there are lots of rule of thumb things out there, and especially the myth around, well,